Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Rock Experience with Mike Brunn. On this episode, I'm joined by legendary frontman and lead singer of KISS, Paul Stanley, and he'll talk all about his new upcoming album with Paul Stanley's Soul Station, Now and Then. He'll also give us an update on some of the things going on in the world of KISS. I think there's a really exciting episode that you guys are going to thoroughly enjoy. I know that for sure. So, I guess without further ado, let's jump in and let's get started with my conversation with the one, the only Mr. Paul Stanley. So first, I just want to congratulate you. March 5th, Now and Then coming out, your first album with Soul Station. What is it like for you after 50 years releasing music, putting out albums, to go down a whole different path like this? What's it like for you?
Um, it's so gratifying, but it's something that I've always enjoyed doing in the sense that when I did Phantom of the Opera, people said, "Are you trying to reinvent yourself?" And I went, "No, I'm not a rock singer. I'm a singer who sings rock.
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really want to stay in one lane just because someone else wants me to be confined by that. So I don't stay in one lane on the freeway. So I'm not going to do it musically.
Right.
Uh, Doing Soul Station has been amazing for me because it's not a recording project that now we want to take out and do live shows. It was us being a live band that
Mm-hmm.
went into the studio, and to have all these people who have such amazing backgrounds, having played with Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, Natalie Cole, Whitney Houston, it goes on,
Mm-hmm.
and have us all uh, uh, bound by this uh, uh, belief that this music needs to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's amazing. I mean, if you watch the videos, you see just the camaraderie in the band.
Absolutely.
We have so much fun together,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, the idea of getting out there to celebrate this great music that somehow now is really just samples in rap songs, as opposed to hearing these incredible songs. And
Mm-hmm.
when we play them live, uh, immediately when you first hear the first couple of notes, you see people go,
Mm-hmm.
because it touches something emotionally.
Sure.
We didn't we didn't want to imitate.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to duplicate. We wanted to get the essence of those songs and stay true to them,
Mm-hmm.
but make sure that we weren't just a superficial copy of them. And
Mm-hmm.
from what everybody says, that's what we did.
Absolutely. Now, you said before you're a singer who sings rock, not a rock singer, right? So, what's the difference singing these types of songs for you?
It's very different. It's very different in terms of what people may be used to hearing me sing
Mm-hmm.
like, but it's not anything that I haven't done at home. It's not
Mm-hmm.
but falsetto. If you listen to the middle of "I Was Made for Loving You," that's
Absolutely.
falsetto.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there was times in Phantom of the Opera where there's falsetto.
Mm-hmm.
So um, it's part of my voice that's always been there.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the songs where it's appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Still, it takes work. Even if you're gifted as an athlete, it doesn't negate the need for practice. So
Absolutely.
um, it's something that I was determined to do well,
Mm-hmm.
and is really in my wheelhouse anyway.
Right. Now, some of these songs are, I mean, all-time classics. You don't have to be an R&B fan to know some of these songs, right? Do you get nervous at all? You spoke about respecting them. Right? Do you get nervous at all about people comparing your versions to the originals? And what do you think about that?
I think they hold up really, really
Hmm.
well. Um, um, I think that there's a lot of heart, a
Hmm.
lot of commitment when you hear it. Um, you could probably go to a million bars and hear somebody go, "Hey, and now I'm going to sound just like Frank
Right.
Sinatra."
Right.
It's not that.
Hmm.
I don't think anybody listens to it and goes, "Is that Al Green?" No, it's
Right.
not Al Green.
Right.
Um, but those performances, those singers, they cast a big shadow,
Hmm.
and to walk in those shadows or walk next to them is it's something that I certainly didn't take lightly, and um, I tend to be my own harshest critic, and I think it's all pretty damn good.
Absolutely. Now, I think one of the things that's exciting to me as a fan is you have the 9 covers, but you have 5 original songs on this as well, right? So, what was that writing process? I have to think it's a lot different writing these songs as opposed to Love Gun, Detroit Rock City, or even newer stuff like Say Yeah, right? Is the writing process different for you?
The process isn't different,
Hmm.
but the I wasn't going, let me write songs in the style of this.
Hmm.
Um, I was immersed in that music. I grew up with that music.
Hmm.
And certainly while we were recording and we were neck deep in Philly soul and Motown
Hmm.
and Stax Volt, all of that great music, it it was much easier to um, just continue that. I felt more that I was just writing more of those songs as
Hmm.
opposed to copying those songs.
Okay.
The difference is that most of those songs, those great songs that are classics, are piano based. They were
Hmm.
written on piano. So when I was writing these songs, I was playing on the guitar, knowing that they would be voiced, and I would change it to piano.
Hmm.
Um, and the idea was not to write updated versions, but to write songs that seamlessly connect.
Hmm.
And that's the word that most people have used, is that it's seamless. I know somebody who heard one of I think heard Lorelei and said to me, "Who originally did that song?" And I go, "What do you mean?" "Well, I that's one of my favorite songs. Where's it from?" And I went, "I wrote it."
Hmm.
So that's really what this is about, was um, to continue a tradition as opposed to trying to update it.
Hmm. That makes sense. Now, obviously, over the years, you've talked about the Beatles being a huge influence, Led Zeppelin, and we could hear that through the music that you've released for the last 5 decades, right? Is there any time that you pulled on these R&B influences that maybe people subtly didn't realize, but it was there? Like, is there any of those influences in
Totally.
some songs? What songs come to mind for you?
Totally. There's well, as early as Destroyer, if not
Mhm.
earlier. Shout it out loud. You got,
Mhm.
well, the night's begun and you want some fun. Do you
Mhm.
think you're gonna find it? Think you're gonna? That's the Four Tops.
Mhm. Okay. Right.
It's lead vocal with the Answers.
Mhm.
Um, I Was Made for Loving You um, borrows from, well, I was made for loving you, babe, standing in the shadows of love. Four
Mm,
Tops
okay.
again.
Right. Mhm.
Um, there was a song on Unmasked, What Makes the World Go Round.
Yeah.
Basically a spinner's tune.
Mm.
It's just we played it with guitars and left out parts of it that would have made it more that.
Mm.
But my roots, as a kid, I saw Otis Redding. I saw
Mhm.
Solomon Burke, the Temptations. Um, that music is really part of, it's a cornerstone in what I
Mhm.
do. I think that the more diverse you are in the music you listen to, the more you bring to your music. It's
Mhm.
like food.
Mhm.
I love pasta. I don't
Mhm.
want to eat it morning, noon, and night.
Sure.
And music should be the same way. When
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, I don't want to hear that just, you know, I just want to hear this kind of music, or don't sing that kind of music. I just want to hear you do. Well, that may be someone else's limitations, but
Hmm.
I don't live by those limitations.
Sure. Now, speaking of those limitations, you must realize that for some Kiss fans and Paul Stanley fans, they're going to say, "Ooh, R&B album, no thanks," right? So that, there's going to be some people that say that. But is some of this maybe for you to try to introduce? So I'll call those closed-minded people, introduce them to some of this and hope to maybe convert them, or do you not really care?
Converting means to convert somebody would mean to convince somebody.
Hmm.
I have no time to convince
Hmm.
anything.
Hmm. Right,
Uh,
right.
if you truly don't want to experience something, or you want to turn yourself off to it, whether it's my music, someone else's music,
Hmm.
uh, art, food, whatever, your loss.
Hmm.
It's not for me. I'm not here to educate people. Uh, I do what I do,
Hmm.
and thankfully, it always seems to find an audience. And
Hmm.
what's most important is that I love what I do.
Hmm. Well, that's to me one of the things that comes out, whether you see these videos that you post online, like you guys did a few months ago, the "Ooh Baby Baby" song, and you just smiling from ear to ear. And as a fan for 40 years, I said to somebody I know, I said, I can't remember seeing Paul smile as much as he has while doing these songs, and that shows to me.
Well, the great thing about doing that "Ooh Baby Baby,"
Hmm.
that was a cappella. I mean,
Hmm.
there's no music,
Hmm.
there's no special effects. That's just singing. So
Yes.
um, um, that's part of the joy
Hmm.
is to have a big live band and to have great people to play with and sing with. And
Hmm.
if somebody go, I don't want to taste that food. Well, you know, I get it,
Hmm.
but you might like it if you taste it, and if not, that's okay too. But
Hmm.
I'm not on a mission here at all. Um, the first person that I have to please always is me.
Hmm. 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 So speaking of that, the five new songs, are there any to
Hmm.
you that you like? I'll say like is a favorite of yours of the five new ones that you wrote?
Um, I like IOI
Hmm.
is, is terrific.
Hmm.
Lorelei is terrific.
Hmm.
Um, hey, I'm going to wind up mentioning five. They're they're all really, really great tunes. And
Hmm.
look, I'm my own harshest critic.
Hmm.
If I didn't think after I wrote the first one, if I didn't think it was good enough, I wouldn't have written the second one.
Hmm.
And if I hadn't thought the second one was good enough, I wouldn't have written the third.
Sure, sure, that makes sense. Now, again, as a longtime Kiss fan, I know when you did your solo tour in '89, and then when you did your other solo tour in the mid early 2000s, it was important to you at that time that you said that you didn't include anybody from Kiss. Yet
Hmm.
this go around, obviously, you're including Eric Singer, and we know his background's playing some of these songs. But what brought on that change? Is it just his background, or was there something else that said, "Hey, I want Eric involved in this"?
Eric, I couldn't imagine anyone else. He was the first person I called. Eric grew up playing in big bands with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's background is so far beyond um, being in metal bands or hard rock bands.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a great guy, and he sings great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I just knew that he would nail this and do it justice.
Mm-hmm.
And funny, Rafael Morera, the guitar player,
Mm-hmm.
was in my Live to Win
Let's,
band.
yep, absolutely.
So, and Sean Hurley, the bass player, who was the touring bass player with John Mayer, he
Mm-hmm.
played on some of the tracks on Live to Win. So um, it's a it grew naturally,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just thrilled. There were no auditions or we can't get this guy, let's get that guy.
Mm-hmm.
It just all fell in line. And the great thing is most of the people never played with each other, but
Right.
it quickly cemented into a real family.
That's awesome. So I know you said before about live shows. We're in a pandemic right now. Is the thought though, if things do get better, that you'll play more live shows with Soul Station? And what about on the cruise? Would you do it on the Kiss cruise?
Well, on the Kiss cruise, the issue is how many shows can I possibly do? So that's an issue. But
Well, one more is okay, Paul.
no, well, as far as playing live,
Hmm.
I don't know when big concerts are going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to me. It's not up to KISS.
Mm-hmm.
Promoters are going to have to be able to get insurance, and it's all going to have to be deemed safe in terms of mass
Mm-hmm.
attendances. So between now and that time, and I don't think that time is around the corner,
Unfortunately.
I will do my best to be out there and play with Soul Station.
Awesome. That's great news. Now, I know last year on KISS's website, there was an announcement that was going to be a new KISS documentary that was going to come out. They said hopefully the end of last year. Any new news on that you can share with the fans?
All I can say is that the documentary is a 2-night special, and it's awesome. It's
Okay.
really, really, really great.
Any idea when it'll be released, or you not?
I'm not really sure, because
Okay.
with the pandemic has really thrown scheduling,
Sure.
whether movies
Mm-hmm.
or TV scheduling. It's really put everything in upheaval.
Absolutely.
So originally we had thought it would be out in January, but the world's been on hold for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a waiting game, but
Mm-hmm.
it's terrific. It's really, really good.
Awesome. We'll look forward to it. What about, is there any new musical releases, whether it's like deluxe editions, live stuff? Is there anything on the horizon for KISS with that?
I'm sure there's always something,
Okay.
quite honestly. Universal has our catalog,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really them who decides what they're putting out.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of our deal with them. So um, I'm really not privy to a lot of that. I think there's something coming out, but really, it's not anything that I'm really that focused on
Okay.
or follow.
Fair enough. Were you happy with the Dubai concert New Year's Eve?
I thought, considering we hadn't played in a year,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, considering the circumstances of not having an audience really in front of us,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
playing to a hotel more or less,
Sure.
the fireworks were absolutely staggering,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I think it was a good evening, good night.
Yeah. I could tell you, watching at home, I was excited that you guys played Strata. To me,
Yeah.
that should be in the set list, in my opinion, the entire tour.
Well, the funny thing was we played it because they said, you guys got to play longer. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we we weren't at midnight yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the guys and I said, how about we play Strutter?
Right.
You know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
it was done without rehearsal, and it was really off the cuff. And I can't tell you the last time we played that.
Yeah, no, that was exciting to me. I know during the pandemic, we just mentioned the Ooh Baby Baby video that you guys did. Earlier in the pandemic, you did, I think it was videos for Love Gun. And every time I look at you, do you have plans to do any more of those kind of things? Because those are exciting for the fans when you did those.
More KISS videos?
Oh, KISS or Soul Station, just like those kind of things.
I think there's 5 Soul Station videos
Okay.
for all the 5. Actually, I think there's 5, and 2 of them or 3 of them are classic songs, and 2 or 3 of them are newer songs. So the videos are great, because the videos really give you a chance to see that band chemistry, and there's not enough live bands, big bands out there, and we're one of them.
Yeah. Do you think you'll do any other live streaming things with KISS during the pandemic?
No,
No. Okay. Fair enough.
no.
Any news on the DVD for the Dubai show?
It that needs work, because we're lucky in that we have so many film angles available, so we can really do it right. That was a little rushed and a little on the spur of the moment in terms of calling the shots and calling the camera angles. So we have everything, and we'll make sure that it really captures the show and features the people who should be. If Gene's singing, the camera shouldn't be on me.
Right.
And as much as I like that,
Yeah.
but that's what we saw was missed shots and things like that. but we have it all. So yeah, that'll be re-edited. I was going to say fixed. It's not going to be fixed. It's going to be re-edited.
Okay, that's fine. So like we said at the start of this, March 5th is when the new album is coming out, right? And it's out on black vinyl, colored vinyl, right? So
Sounds
and
awesome on vinyl.
yeah, I'm sure it does. Vinyl's the way to me to listen to all of this stuff. Is there anything else about the album that you want your fans to know about?
Other than it's sometimes people do what they call vanity projects. This isn't a vanity project. This is a passion project.
Mm-hmm.
And the packaging is awesome. And you get to see everybody in the band. I wrote about why I did the album and why I put Soul Station together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's, it's a, it's a cool package. To me, it's kind of the package. It's kind of, harkens back to old packages where you felt you really got something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Paul, I also want to say thank you. You've been very active on social media over the last year, giving a voice to your thoughts and opinions. And during these times, it's kind of nice. People don't always have to agree, right? It's not about agreeing, but it's nice to kind of have that interaction with the fans. I want to say thank you for that. And do you ever worry that putting that stuff out there will turn off some fans maybe?
It might, but that, again, their loss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that friendship should be based on agreeing on everything.
100%. Yeah.
I have friends who are totally at odds with some of my beliefs, but we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
If every one of your entertainers that you enjoy watching or listening to has to be of the same mindset as you, that's insane. So
Absolutely.
would you rather not know how they feel? That's really a question somebody else has to answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a great way for people to have a conversation. The way I look at social media is that it's a chance for people to come into my house.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in my house, just know that you can't be insulting or rude, or I'll throw you the hell out of my house. You are a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, let's share. But if my opinions turn you off, well, then do whatever you feel you need to.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to you sharing the new album on March 5th, Paul. And this has been an honor. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today. I'll say thank you. And if there's anything else you want to say, otherwise we'll close this up.
Oh, I think we've said it all. And
Awesome.
You said it all.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Enjoy and best of luck with the new album.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Paul. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Alrighty, there you have it. My conversation with the one, the only, Mr. Paul Stanley. I'd like to thank Paul for taking a little bit of time sitting down chatting with me all about his upcoming Soul Station album, as well as what's going on with KISS. Thank you so much, Paul. I really appreciated it. I hope you guys all enjoyed listening to it and watching that as much as I enjoyed the chat with Paul. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button below. If you're listening to one of my podcasts, subscribe over there as well. Also, head on over to Facebook and follow my page, The Rock Experience with Mike Brunn, where each and every day we talk about all the rock and roll music that you love. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time.